Hi everyone, Lazy Fire here. Welcome back to the Hate the Player podcast. Arnold's here again, possibly
Yay!
temporarily. Arnold,
There's a doings a transpiring.
There's shake your fist harder, boy. We'll yell that at him as he goes away.
So glad you picked up on that reference.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad I can get someone else to come in and do a Simpsons reference that what I didn't do. Anyways, Three Toes also here.
Yay!
Yeah,
As always.
Let's-
As most of the time.
I was gonna say basically forever, but and so I'm also here. I don't know why, really.
Why are any of us here?
Well, billions and billions of years ago. No, well, let's not do that one. I've spent most of the day at the museum, and I have a degree in anthropology, and I was like talking to my nephew about human evolution, and he's just looking at me like, Santa Claus real? And I'm like, God damn it, stop being 7 years old.
Our teacher told us evolution was a tool of the devil.
Well, he's homeschooled, so
Oh, God.
by his mom, who is a complete hippie. So he knows that evolution is real, but he also thinks oil pulling is a thing and that vaccines may or may not cause some sort of harm.
Oh, God.
His mom actually did stagger his vaccines when he was young because it was too many antigens. Yeah, it's like, I didn't have autism and I had all my vaccines.
You keep using
Well,
wet
and
words.
look at
I
you
don't
now.
think it means what you think it means.
So, have you guys... Arnold, I know you actually fixed your computer problems in a hilariously simple way because you're a goddamn idiot.
So, what ended up being wrong with my computer was when you started it, it would say HAL.dll needs to be replaced, which, I mean, that's a simple fix, but I just didn't really give enough shits to actually do it. But it turns out the actual problem is way simpler than that. I literally only had to hit F11 when the computer started, down arrow twice, and enter. And here I am now.
Dude, that's
Had I put 10 seconds of effort in 3 months ago, nothing ever, whatever. Nothing ever would happen.
It's the most Arnold solution to the most Arnold problem.
Dude, even I know to load up BIOS and change boot order when shit like that goes down.
So, Arnold, I have to ask, based on something Kruger said in the comment to our last podcast, are you actually joining us live and on location from an abandoned warehouse?
No. No, the meth den has since turned into an actual house.
Oh.
In that I have a carpet. I can go in my bathroom and make things really echoey and give you that nice.
I was about to say,
feel again, though.
the reverb's not as bad this week.
No, yeah, it's because I'm in like an actual house with the usual or the old recording setup I used to have.
Ooh.
With actual, carpet and stuff.
Back in the studio, Arnold's going to drop the Hobbitist mixtape of 2015. Spit straight fire, everyone.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Funny enough, I've been listening to a lot of trap music.
Yeah, you were talking about that the entire time you and I were playing, I was playing Hardline the other day.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Southern drug dealer rap gets me.
Birdman just blasting full time.
How is Hardline anyway?
Amazing.
Are we ready to get into that?
Yeah, I think it's time because I'm.
Where the tanks at? Where are the fucking tanks at?
Listen, Chrono Jam.
I don't want to fucking hear it. I need my tanks.
While you don't have a shell tank, you do have this thing that basically functions as the tank called like the rescue vehicle, the CAT, the counter assault vehicle or something like that.
Is it like the SWAT tank with a battering ram on the front?
Kinda. It's basically a big old fucking truck, and it's got a remote controlled turret on the top of it, and it will basically gun down anyone that thinks about coming into contact with it, and it's the most scary goddamn thing in the game. You can't damage it with your smaller caliber weapons, unlike most of the cars in the game, and even some of the things like miniguns and stuff will not do enough damage to it to be noticeable. So it's basically a fucking tank. But it's a smaller, the game maps are smaller, There's more maps with no or fewer vehicles, and it's more about sort of the game modes are more varied. Like in all of Battlefield 4, I think we jumped into some of the DLC game modes like Capture the Flag and the Carrier Assault mode a couple times. In this, we have a server now, and we played Conquest, Blood Money, Heist, and Bank Job over the course of a night.
Is that like another job I'm thinking of?
Yes, it's just like another job.
Is it a quick time event where you just mash like Q and E to go back and forth?
I wish. That'd be fun. Some of the game modes on some of the maps are absolutely fucking horrid. There's a new map called Block that is basically Metro Hardline, because it's just like 3 corridors, no vehicles. And it's the shortest map in the game, and you fight over this like one house at the center, and it's just a mess.
That's honestly a proud Battlefield tradition, having game modes on maps that make no fucking sense.
Yeah. Well, on Blood Money, it can be kind of fun because you have everyone rushing for this one house and knocking shit over and blowing stuff up. But on Conquest, it's just a terrible clusterfuck that no one should be involved with. So the vehicle balance is pretty cool. The Little Bird now can only be a 2-seater vehicle. It's you and a gunner. It's called an attack chopper in this game. And you don't have missiles, you don't have lock-on weaponry with the helicopters. And lock-on weaponry in the game is limited to tracer darts that combine with RPGs to lock on, and pick up stingers. And RPGs can be picked up from the ground or from the back of trunks once you upgrade the vehicles enough. So your number of like stupid explosives just destroying your air vehicles is down, but you're limited to a transport chopper and attack chopper. So if you're interested in flying, it's a good game for that. Like the flight physics and the helicopters are fun to fly. I spent a little bit of time in both choppers, but people will like eventually go fuck this guy and go pick up one of the many stingers on the ground. And you can be damaged by small arms fire, so if people are dedicated enough, they can pull you down pretty fast. But yeah, the game was. Go ahead.
It seems like the transport chopper would be, or a coordinated transport chopper team would be pretty ridiculously overpowered. Can you repair transport choppers in the air?
You can, but the issue with the transport choppers is that the miniguns on them have been nerfed into the fucking ground, and they're not really good against infantry. Against vehicles, they can do some damage. The starter machine guns. Against vehicles, they're better against armored vehicles, the starter machine guns, than infantry, because they fire very slowly, and it's not like a fast projectile, it's a pretty slow one. So stationary or moving vehicles are a little bit easier to lead and hit, whereas individuals are kind of hard to hit successfully. But I believe you can upgrade the miniguns on there to be decent, so people have been talking about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really worth mentioning. I mean, there have been people who go, oh, it's a reskin of Battlefield 4. And if you hear somebody say that, it either means they haven't played the game or they played about 4 minutes of it and made their mind up. Because it's so different in a lot of ways. It uses the same graphics engine, which makes people think it's just a reskin. But it switches up the classes in a way that Battlefield 4 versus Battlefield 3 didn't really do. So you still have your basic classes. You have the Operator, which is sort of your the medic or the assault class from the last game. Uses assault rifles, has medic kit. You have the mechanic, that's the engineer. He uses SMGs and PDWs, and he has repair tools, and he actually now has the grenade launcher. It's no longer in the operative or with the assault class, and so that's his starter explosive. He can also set up sabotage bombs, so he can basically put trip mines on, or not trip mines, but rather you can put like explosives on doors or on objectives or on vehicles, and if people get into the vehicle or open the door or try to capture the objective, they'll get blown up by it. It's apparently Blood Money in the beta. I didn't play it, or not Blood Money, Hotwire, the mode where you steal cars and drive them around. In the beta, it was basically sabotage every car all the time, and people just driving off and getting blown up and getting really pissed. But then you have the classes that kind of stayed the same. The Enforcer, which is your support class. It has an ammo box as the starter kit, and then you can, and shotguns as the primary weapon. You can later upgrade to use battle rifles instead, which are sort of like full auto DMRs with really bad recoil. And I believe the other really thing about a big thing is you can still have breaching charges with that class, but I found myself using the ballistic shield quite a bit. Because the ballistic shield in this game is fucking fantastic. Jeremy 9000 of Something Awful Goon fame will regularly ground out one of the unlocks and has a double-barreled shotgun and runs around with a ballistic shield on his back and the double-barrel shotgun, and will just gun down people from ridiculous ranges. And he's caused so many people to get fucking pissed at him in the server, claim he's hacking, all this shit. It's absolutely amazing. But it's a really fun game, and of course the professional is your sniper class. Don't ever fucking play as the professional. Oh, the mechanic has the satellite phone, which is the spawn beacon. So the professional really has nothing to do unless you want to snipe with it.
So the professional is a sniper?
Yeah, don't use it.
Yay, sniper class. I'm so glad that's still a thing in the game.
It's not. I've maybe been killed by snipers twice. Maybe. Shotguns are way, way, way more popular. Both sides start out with, this game returns to the Battlefield 3 striation of weapons based on which side you're on. So on most guns you start off with different shit on both sides, and then you have to sort of buy your way up. But both sides on the Enforcer start with the 870. Ooh. And it is a fucking monster gun.
I mean, are the maps like conducive to that? Or, I mean,
yes.
Are the maps kind of like more like close quarters and like
I would say
sniper lines?
If you want a comparison, and I don't really like Bad Company 2 because I had bad experiences with it on Xbox. It's more of a Bad Company 2 feel in some areas, especially because you have a lot more open houses in this game. There's a couple maps where basically every house you walk past you can go inside of and blow out the walls to this room or that room, sort of like the close quarters map from Battlefield 3. So you have these long areas where using something more long range like an assault rifle is really good, and then you have these areas that are absolutely fantastic for shotguns. Like people will, and the maps are also really good about giving you multiple flank options, so you could get around people and just start shotgunning them in the back if you really wanted to. But one of the really great things is that the Blood Money game mode, the idea is there's a central pile of money, you grab the money and you bring it back to your vault. The problem is that the enemy team can also go to your vault and start taking money from you. And so the Goon team would generally, and it mattered because there's only 40 players on the server. It's a 64-player game, but 64 is, I think, too many people for what those maps are and what the game modes are. It'd be too hectic and too frantic, and you'd never get anything done. But you'd have a few people who would just basically go to your vault early on and wait for their team to spawn on you, or spawn off of them, and just take all your money and then make this mad dash across the map after killing anyone who comes to get them. And it started to be this really big strategy of, we have to find where they're hiding, we have to kill them all, and we have to take them, take the money back and everything like that. And it was really fun. You'd have to sort of send people off to do this and hope your team helped you with this thing or that thing. It added a layer of complexity that you're not going to get in the Rush game mode, or you're not going to get in Conquest, which is in the game. And I don't think Conquest works really well for what that game goes for. Conquest Large is still pretty, they're okay-sized maps. People were saying they were a bit too small. It's not the case. Things like Downtown would have been totally a section or a part of a Battlefield 4 map. It reminds me of Siege of Shanghai at times. But when you're playing Hotwire, which is a mode where you, instead of having conquest flags. You have cars that are capture points that you have to drive around, and you have to maintain speed to keep it captured.
If this bus goes below 50 miles an hour, we'll never capture this
Tell
point.
me one of the characters is voiced by Dennis Hopper.
I don't believe he is, but it could happen. You never know.
What do you do, hotshot?
But the other thing about it that makes it kind of fun is that Visceral is clearly having fun with this game, and like there are weird Easter egg reload animations that were in the beta where like a third arm will come out.
Yeah, those were great.
But you can, if you are the criminals, if you're spotting cops, occasionally you'll flip them off, and instead of saying like enemy spotted over here or something like that, like Battlefield 4, Arnold, I think you'll agree. The call outs from the troops, like enemy over by this thing or that thing, like they were really bland, right?
True.
Like
Yeah, they were boring.
Battlefield 3 even had better ones. It's like there's a tank over here, he's a big fucker, and
Right.
Like,
Or oh my god, the recon with the repair tool, like stop, no, really, I'm trying to repair your tank.
yeah. Like yeah, some of the shit in Battlefield 3 and Hardline, like they did, like let the bodies hit the floor, of course, was a great line. And that was Bad Company too. But in this game, it's constantly like criminals, like I'm not going back to jail, and like firing on cops and everything. Oh, it
Really?
yeah. There's points where they're yelling like I'm not going back, man, or you can't take me alive, or I'm taking all of you with me, or something like that. Like a variation of it. It's absolutely fun. It's really fantastic to have a little bit of life in sort of the characters in the game, even if you never get a name of any of the cops or the robbers or anything like that. Having those little touches make it a whole thing. So, I would totally recommend it. A lot of people are saying it's their favorite Battlefield since Bad Company 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's that bad. But
Shut up.
Here's the thing. I didn't really like Bad Company 2. I thought Battlefield 3 was a lot better game, a lot better put together, and even on the 360. And when Battlefield 4 was fixed, it felt like a way better game than Battlefield 3 did. Like, it clearly improved on a lot of stuff, but it had a rough patch. Battlefield Hardline launched with very, very, very few issues. Like, a couple people got kicked.
No.
Yes, kid you not.
No, come on.
The servers all work. People can play. No one's like my game keeps crashing every time I turn it on. Or
So it's not a Battlefield game.
yeah, it might not be a Battlefield game. So it launched with probably the fewest issues of any Battlefield game I can think of. I mean, Battlefield 2, people talk about how great Battlefield games were. Battlefield 2, which is kind of like the gold standard of Battlefields, was like unplayable for a year. So this game working at launch is just like a what the fuck moment. But it works, and it's fun, and people are playing it and enjoying it. Of course, a lot of people are saying that you should see the PC numbers for the game were like 4,000 people playing in the first week, and then the consoles were like 40 and 60,000 people. And it's like, well, why the hell is this happening? Because most PC players got fucking burned so badly by Hardline last time, or Battlefield last time, that they're not going to go do it. They're not going to go and like spend the money on this game again until it's proven to be solid. And then
Battlefield 4 was, and I'm one of those people. Battlefield 4, when it launched, was shit. And even when it got better, I still haven't had as much fun in 4 as I did in 3. Like, 4 is objectively better balanced, all that stuff. But like 3, I just had way more fun with, and I don't know if it's because we just spawn camp people, which really isn't fun. But I don't know. Honestly, I think a lot of it could be attributed to the delay in jihads. I fucking hate that. Jesus fucking Christ. That extra like half second of delay on jihad? No.
Arnold, come on. I have more jihad kills
Oh, absolutely. I'm not oh no. I'm not saying you don't, but like that's why I don't jihad as much in 4. Because I can't tell you how many times I hear the beep and then hey, I'm dead. And it didn't blow up.
But well, they fucked it up in the latest Battlefield patch. Occasionally, C4 will decide that explosions don't actually do damage. I got to experience that first and foremost. Or not first and foremost, but firsthand. Wow, I'm having a day. So yeah, it's a really fun game. The game modes are pretty good. They're pretty varied. I'm interested in seeing how it goes. I think there's going to be a lot of potential. But true story, Level Cap joined the ATF Cump 'em and Dump 'em server, which is the server that Dr. Strangelove set up. And ATF is the name of a gaming clan that owns like every third server in Battlefield 4. And so he named it the ATF Cump 'em and Dump 'em because there's there's some sort of ATF server that's named something similar, so he decided to fuck with them. And so people from ATF were joining the server thinking it was one of theirs and like threatening people with kicks and bans for like chat spam. And then this is what caused Level Cap to join it. And
oh god.
If you don't know Level Cap, I don't blame you because he's a YouTube personality who plays a lot of
superstar.
He plays a lot of Battlefield 4, or was playing a lot of Battlefield games for the last few years. But every time he talks about it, he only talks about how much he wants it to be Counter-Strike. Like, these guys should really remove having, ammo boxes because resupplying should only be once per life, or something like that. Like,
what? Why? Why?
He comes up
Pick up a gun off of somebody's corpse! What the fuck?
He comes up with the dumbest, suggestions for the game, and people just, nod and go, and take notes about what they want to see in the game, and it's all what Level Cap told them to see. It's bad. I don't think explosions should do as much damage as they do. This sort of thing. He's that kind of guy who just, I got killed by a vehicle one time. He hates tanks, for example. He doesn't think tanks should be in the game.
What the fuck?
What?
He can suck a dick.
He can
eat a whole fucking sack of dicks.
He doesn't think that miniguns on transport choppers shouldn't do that much damage because it could ruin my day. Yeah, he's one of the guys who thinks AA should be removed from the game simply because they can shoot down his helicopter. That's the sort of person you're dealing with here. He joined the Goon server, and it was kind of funny. He joined it, and then 12 more people joined, and they got split across the two teams. And there were times where people were taking one team's helicopter and flying it over to the other team with their cooperation and landing it so Level Cap could have it and fly around in it. He had a sycophant squad who just follow him around and either feed him kills or give away positions of other people or honestly, heal him up or everything.
You can't really blame him if he's making money off of this. You can bet. All right. Let's say I'm Level Cap. I'm an English dick. I mean, I could go into an English accent.
That's Jack Frags.
Piece of shit. Anyway, I don't care. They're all the same. You can bet your ass that I'd drag your asses in there to be my kill fodder so I can get more likes or hits or whatever the fuck on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, and anybody who didn't agree with me would be denounced as a faggot or a troll or whatever. So, yeah. I mean, you can't really blame them when they're making actual real-life dollars off of that bullshit.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, they're still pretty terrible.
There's no good reason for you to be yes, it's totally okay for these people to follow me around full-time and try to help me out and make me get good videos. People were talking that he basically left the server later on because people were, making active hunting parties to kill him. They were getting tired of his shit, so they were just making it hard for him to live once they realized who he was. But the other thing that was kind of funny was that everyone found out from that video that he constantly has chat turned off.
What?
You can't see text chat in any of his videos because he turns it off. And so people... The name of the... Hold on, I'm going to go find it real quick. Because of this, he keeps... because of the name of the server, he keeps joining it every now and again, and people find it necessary to, kick him or, tell him to get the fuck out. And so... the name
Eat a bag of dicks.
The name of the server
It's
is...
ATF Kump 'em and Dump 'em, right?
Yeah, but the ATF Kump 'em and Dump 'em. Level cap, stay out, fuckface. And there was some guy. The funniest thing was there was some guy who was like talking to Strangelove, the server owner, and saying like, "You should really change that. There's no good reason to antagonize a YouTube celebrity just like that."
Yes,
YouTube
there is.
celebrity. YouTube celebrity. That's enough reason right there.
That alone is a reason to antagonize them.
You know the irony. Where's this podcast gonna go?
YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah, but we're not making fucking money off of it.
Yeah, I tried that. We have not made a single dime.
You know what? Should this podcast ever get popular, I hope somebody uses this clip against us at some point in the future.
Yeah,
by us I mean you,
fucking
because you're the only one who's going to make any money off of it, bro, man.
I hope my real hope is that this somehow gets popular after 51 episodes. Like, it just breaks all sorts of barriers, because I talked about Battlefield Hardline like every other gaming podcast will this week. And somehow someone hears it and is like, oh my god, and promotes it to high heaven. And we get really popular, and then we're doing convention shows and everything like that in a few years, and we're all coked out and wearing dark sunglasses inside at 2 p.m. And, one day someone comes up and said, what about the time you said YouTube superstars should all go to hell? And it's like, well... yeah, like I don't think I'd change my mind if I was making money off of this.
You changed, man. It used to be about the videos. Fucking sell out.
You just look and you're like, wait, didn't you say that about MTV 20 years ago? What the hell happened? What's going on here? It's getting very confusing. But yeah, it was just kind of funny that there was someone like trying to defend Jack or Level Cap or something like that, but Hardline has brought out like the whiniest, weirdest people in the thread, which is kind of great, because there are people who are like, I played Battlefield 4 twice back in 2013 and I didn't like it, so I don't think Hardline's... So you're talking about
some guy, right?
No, some guy bought an Xbox One, but he got himself banned, so he can't post about it.
Oh,
yeah. I wish he was still around, because then I could nominate him for that shit poster thing, and then he could rage against how it had to be on a PC, and he hates PCs, and they're for elitist jerks who have Asperger's. That'd be great if he could come back and just make that rant for us. So yeah, fun times. Have you guys actually played anything? Arnold, I know you went and played Battlefield 4 for the first time because you figured out how F11 works.
F11, the mysteries of the key next to F12. I've actually been playing Nuclear Throne, which some dickhole actually bought for me, and it's really fun. And I was actually playing that when you messaged me to come into the podcast, because I totally forgot what day it was, and I kind of got drunk beforehand. And it's actually really good. It's a thing. And you can be think Binding of Isaac with different characters that don't really have any significant differences, except for maybe one or two. Yeah. And a lot of really fun guns to use and they all generally have a use. I haven't gotten past the third stage yet.
Oh, that's the third. Are you talking about the sewers?
No. Past that, I guess it's kind of wasteland with the exploding cars.
Huh.
But
okay, yeah.
But I feel like the difficulty curve on the game, it's like, this isn't bad, not bad. It's a little harder, and then it just goes straight to holy fucking shit, and you can get like one-shotted by pretty much anything.
Yeah, the that game goes from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, I like it though. It is definitely a good game. I haven't played it multiplayer yet, but I would like to. So,
yeah, it's only local multiplayer, I think, right now, right?
I actually don't know, because I haven't played multiplayer because I have no friends.
Yeah. Well.
Aww. But it's fun. It's like Binding of Isaac, but more shoot, kill, and you get through the levels faster.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like a quick thing. The one character I can't play as is that the space agent or whatever the hell he is, and people start spawning in like within 30 seconds of the level starting, and you have to kill them a million times over.
Yeah.
Oh god, every time I end up with that guy on random, I just want to fucking die as soon as I can. And I will, so it's fine.
No, I pretty much play a steroid all the time.
Yeah,
because
steroids.
he can dual wield, and I honestly thought that's how the game was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then I played with somebody else, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Whenever I go to steroid, I'm like, this is perfect, and then you switch off, and you're like, I didn't want to fucking roll fish. What the fuck? Steroid's great because then you can have one weapon that's a distance weapon or of some nature, a gun or whatever, or a grenade launcher. On the other hand, you can have a wrench or something like that and just start beating the shit out of people. It's actually really good. Ugh, wow, ouch. So, yeah, anything else, Arnold, you played besides that thing I gave you for free?
The Walking Dead season 2, but that's honestly just a depressing. The Walking Dead games are just really just a sadness generator.
Yeah.
And yeah. But if you like being sad, play it. If you don't, then don't. It is literally a sadness generator.
If it's been too long since you've been in a crippling depression, pick up this game.
Yeah. Okay, PC peak in 24 hours, 27,000 people for Hardline.
Holy
Xbox
shit.
One peak in 24 hours, 102,000. PS4
terrible.
peak, 124,000. Remember that neither the PS4 or the Xbox One have any fucking games.
I mean, if it's as good as you're saying it is, that's really sad. But hey, EA, don't make developers release games before they're fucking ready.
Yeah, the thing is, like, they actually learned that lesson with Hardline, and people going, because if you go back to the first beta and you look at Hardline as it stands today, it is a very, very different product. Like, enough to be recognizable as different. It's like one of those titles that you can see the beta that they put out in the summer that was going to be the release game in the fall was very clearly supposed to be like an alpha, and they were just going to rush it until it came out on time. So I'm kind of happy that they actually delayed it. I don't think I would have liked the game if they didn't delay it. So I definitely wasn't going to buy it until I saw what it was supposed to be and figured, you know what, I have more money than I need. Let's just throw some money at this thing and see how it goes.
There you go.
Yeah. Three Toes, have you played any games?
I've still been playing the Escapists and still really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like it's just a fun little game and figure out different ways to break out of prison and not get caught. I've beaten the 2 easy levels. I've just started the moderate, and like even the moderate's like kind of difficult if you can't like plan stuff out really well and learn how to cover your ass. Especially if you decide to play without. So at the end of each day when it's lights out and you sleep, that's when it saves the game. That's the only time you can save. So if you fuck up the following night, trying to bust out and you get caught, if you want to play kind of hardcore, you don't revert back to your save. But even if you did want to revert back to your save, everything you did that day, like the last bits of your plan, like maybe you found someone who was finally selling some duct tape that you needed to, finish off your pickaxe to try and, bust through the wall, like that's gone, and it's not guaranteed that you're going to be able to find it from the same person, the next day again. So it's really difficult depending on how you want to play it, but it's really, really fun.
Yeah. And so, like, are you feeling like you'd enjoy seeing more games like that, or if?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it kind of reminds me of. I mean, it's definitely got that like Earthbound, Nintendo style, and it is a bit of just item collection, but it like I said, it does take some planning as well. But no, I just thought it was a really unique idea for a game that I hadn't really seen before.
Yeah.
There's no zombies, thank God.
Oh, hey. Oh,
There's
what year did this come out in?
the violence is actually really toned down, even though you can make a glass shank or a comb shiv and go after people, but you only ever get knocked out. There's no blood and guts or anything like that, and just the way they chose to increase the difficulty was kind of cool. Like from going from the easy prisons to the more moderate ones, and I haven't even been able to take a look at the hard prisons yet. There's contraband detectors all throughout the prisons in certain places, like one coming out of the metal shop, because obviously they don't want prisoners taking sheet metal out of the metal shop. When you get into the harder prisons, the item detectors are everywhere. Like you can't walk into the cafeteria with like a roll of duct tape. Roll of duct tape is contraband. If you see one of your fellow inmates like selling some stuff in the dining hall, you can't buy anything from them, at least not any contraband, because if you try to walk out of the cafeteria with it, you get thrown in the hole and all your shit gets taken away.
Right.
So
Unless you hide it in a hole in the wall with the poster that you built.
Yeah, which I've done several times. But it's a mixture of time and task management and item collection and planning. Because you still have to go through your daily prison routine to a certain extent, or you get too much heat drawn, too much attention to you, and you get busted or have your cell tossed and all your shit taken away.
Right. But so, anything else on your radar besides the Escapist or Escapists?
Not really. I heard that Stranded Deep is doing. I mean, I guess it can't be an expansion because the full game hadn't been released yet. But apparently, they're got like a lot more stuff planned for that game, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's nice to see that somebody after the weirdness. So
yeah, the land sharks and land whales,
the whales that just pop through islands. Yeah, that shit. That was hilarious. I don't care anymore. But like the weirdness of that. But this year has been interesting for nearly abandoned or completely abandoned Kickstarter projects. So or early access games too. Like the Stomping Land, which is a game I was actually kind of interested in, where you play basically a caveman in a weird, bizarre world where dinosaurs and cavemen existed at the same time.
Does Jesus ride around on them?
Yes, Jesus rides a raptor. And like it seemed like a really cool concept, sort of like a Rust, but in third person, and you can only carry like 4 arrows because it's all your hand can carry and stuff like that. It's a neat idea. That got basically completely abandoned recently. Starbound was like basically abandoned for 6 months or something like that by its development team. And then they came back and were like, no, we're still working on it, and like put out an update of some nature.
What was the premise of that one again?
Terraria in space.
Wait, what?
Terraria in space.
Oh, okay.
Arnold, you played it.
I was just talking about the good times we had in Terraria.
Yeah, trolling people.
Jesus Christ!
Blowing up everything they created.
I still have the picture where we wrote on there the guy whose world we destroyed on his spawn. It just said, "Deal with it."
He
still on my imager.
Send me that picture. Send me that picture. I want to use it as the picture for the podcast. That's
it's pretty great. Here, I will get up and get on Imgur and see if I can find it. All right. What's the right way to say Imgur?
Imager.
Imager?
Yeah.
Oh, What? Wait,
The
wait,
words-
what? Imager? Holy
yeah.
shit! Holy fucking shit! Wow.
The world's in agreement. Arnold can't fucking talk.
Well, now I usually take exception to when you say gibbed instead of jibbed.
Yeah, well, I'm right.
No, you're not, because it's, dude, giblets, like giblet gravy, chunks of meat, they're jibs. You jib someone.
Okay.
He got jibbed.
Ludicrous Gibbs.
What?
Rise of the Triad was amazing.
Ludicrous Gibbs.
Ludicrous Gibbs.
Ludicrous Gibbs.
Ludicrous Gibbs.
Gibbs. I
have no idea what's going on right now.
Hey, Bitcoin's up to $267.73.
Oh my God! Yes, can we please
Yes.
talk about the
I
Bitcoin
want to talk
apocalypse?
about. I want to talk about that, and then I am going to. I think we're going to end it for the night. But I
Okay.
definitely wanted to touch
We're
on
gonna
that one.
finish on a high note.
Finish on all the high notes because I don't really feel like talking about Hardline anymore, and my throat's starting to close up. Three Toes, would you like to talk about this Bitcoin fiasco?
I cannot remember the name of the exchange. But
I would probably say something like Clear Scam number 62, but
Yeah.
whatever.
But yeah, like the what were they, like the number 2 Bitcoin exchange site? The admins or owners or whatnot literally ran off with everyone's money,
Yep.
like vanished without a trace, and everyone lost all their shit.
Yeah, that was pretty fun to watch, or at least read about. I enjoyed it. You know, that's the important thing.
I figured Arnold would be laughing hysterically right now.
Yeah, he hates bitcoins. Unless he got really, unless he's
Butt coins.
unless he's really into them now.
Nope.
No, he's into butt stuff.
Nope.
Makes more sense.
Butte stuff.
Wow, we're really having pronunciation problems tonight.
But no, the posts surrounding were all hilarious. Like, especially the extremely sarcastic ones were like, if only there were some kind of regulatory system in place that would prevent something like this from happening.
It's perfect, Arnold. Thank you. Yeah, like every time that happens,
If only there was a governing body full of elected officials from the masses that could have taken care of this for us.
every time it happens, like you know it's gonna happen. Every time someone's like, "Yeah, we're a Bitcoin whatever startup industry idea," you know someone's walking away.
Cryptocurrency.
Someone is walking away with money. There's no way to stop it because it's going to be a huge scam. And the funniest thing, to me, is anytime someone from the Bitcoin community goes, well, you still have scam in your fiat dollars or fiat dollars. I'll just keep pronouncing everything wrong tonight. And so
Fiat dollars.
fiat dollars, yeah.
Yes.
Fiat dollars.
Just
the,
I
pictures
feel
of
like
dicks all
Bitcoin.
over them.
I feel
Anime
like
dicks.
Bitcoins honestly would be fiat dollars.
If fiat didn't hate Bitcoins, they would own all of them. Use it to buy, unironically use it to buy anime and child porn. Oh, whoa, hey, fiat dollars.
And opium fields.
Yeah. A land out in Arizona to start Galt's Gulch. You can buy that too. But yeah, like the fact that Bitcoins just get fucking trashed every couple months because everything is a clear scam is just the funniest goddamn thing. Because every one of those people believe with no, like, you know, zero doubt in their hearts that Bitcoins are the future and that very soon they will be able to buy anything with Bitcoins at all anywhere in the world with no problems, and it's just going to be the wave of the future. They'll be able to fund this thing or that thing in Africa with a touch of a button, and it's like, hey.
And now they literally can't buy shit because they've lost their life savings in a fly-by-night online currency.
Who'd have thought this random currency? It was created by a guy no one can find or knows who it is. There are a limited number of them ever to be printed or made. There's no governing body whatsoever besides the Bitcoin Foundation that doesn't do anything. And three of the four biggest banks of whatever you want to call them or exchanges have either gone under or have become clear scams. Like, what do you want? The federal government can auction has like more bitcoins than anyone. Auctioned a bunch of them off after they shut down Silk Road. So that was kind of funny. I like that. That was a good joke. But there was what they called the Man Bear Pig episode a little while back. You guys know about that one?
Of South Park?
Man Bear Pig?
No,
Man Bear Pig?
it wasn't that episode.
Man Bear Pig?
Which I tried to explain to my roommate was about global
Man Bear
warming,
Pig.
and he did not quite get. He's like, no, it's just funny. Al Gore says super cereal a bunch. No, it's
No,
not.
that's one of the more
Damn it.
non-subtle episodes they've ever had.
You know, I had finally drank myself to the point where I forgot people like that existed, and I'd like to thank you for reminding me that they actually are still around.
The people who say
Thanks.
super cereal and think it's
No,
hilarious.
no, people that have no grasp of anything except literal words.
Okay. So, the Man Bear Pig thing was like sort of the Bitcoin apocalypse. It was up around like $350 or something like that, or $500. Like, it was doing okay. And then this guy started flooding the fucking market with Bitcoins. Just dropping. He was like, hey, he wanted to sell like every Bitcoin he ever owned at once. And it was just like, or he was releasing them in like stacks. And so it was just like stack on stack on stack, as it were, of Bitcoins just showing up in the market. And people were buying them as fast as they could over the price he was asking, so the Bitcoin wouldn't drop further and further. So that's why Bitcoins was like $230 last week. Besides, so it's like stabilized at like $200 something, and the people who were like $600, I better get it before it goes to $1,000, and then it hits $1,000. Better hold on to this; it could go up to $600,000 or something stupid. And then, here it is today at 200 and some odd thousand, $267. That's sort of a mistake. But there are people who like seriously leveraged their house, took out a loan, and bought Bitcoin.
I wonder how many suicides Bitcoin has caused.
That's a good question.
Get on Reddit and start looking.
Oh, God.
The point when Bitcoin collapsed the first time, and people were like, seriously, the Bitcoin subreddit stickied the suicide hotline, so people wouldn't kill themselves over Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh god, hold on, sorry. I was going through the Buttcoin subreddit, and there is a stick figure drawing of Bitcoin fucking MasterCard in the ass while Visa watches from around a corner. Because obviously, that's what's happening here.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, everything Bitcoin is hilarious forever and ever and ever. And I can't wait for the next things that are going to come through and absolutely break the little world. People wonder if Bitcoin can be used for multi-level marketing. That's funny because that's all it is.
Oh God. No, it's not, because at least with some multi-level marketing, there is a tangible product.
Yeah.
Somewhere hidden in there, there's a tangible product. Not so with Bitcoin.
Oh my
You've literally bought gift certificates for stores that no longer exist.
You bought gift certificates for Ron Paul's America.
Why, yes, I would love to convert all of my money into Woolworth gift cards.
Oh, yes.
Ron Paul 2004.
Yeah, Ron Paul 2004, not even the 2008 variation. Like, we're going back.
I'm OG. Straight up college libertarian, yo.
Oh God, those guys. Actually, quickly before we go, I've been watching a lot of competitive Counter-Strike lately.
Yeah. Do we need to
So
like get you an
you've been
AA or
watching
something?
like 45-minute episodes of quick scoping with the op?
God.
Uh, I actually, yeah. There's like usually it's not as bad as like a public match. Actually, it's kind of funny because it's one or two guys with ops. That's it, and then on both teams, and then everyone else is running rifles, and you're watching this happen. And you're like, huh, these guys know way too much about this game. Like this is what they do for a living. I understand that. But maybe I would have stepped back at some point in my life and said, I don't really want to be this person who just is known for using. Like, there's a point where they were the hosts were interviewing the number one opera in the world, is how they kept
Oh,
pronouncing it, and
Number one offer.
it was hilarious because he was very Polish and talking in very broken English that was very like lilting, and he wasn't really saying anything loudly. So it's like, very good point, very good point. And you could clearly tell the guy hadn't heard a single word the guy said, and it was just trying to get him along through this interview so he could go back to like sitting in front of a computer and not speak. So I enjoy that, like for the social awkwardness of it at the points, but it's actually it's a pretty interesting thing to watch because some of these guys are fucking next level crazy. Like, because you can crouch jump and boost people in that game. There are people who like triple crouch jump onto each other. Like they will crouch jump, and then the guy will jump onto something, and the other guy will jump onto the guy who jumped onto the first guy to get onto the thing, and like they will walk around in this giant configuration so they can get over a wall and shoot people.
Oh yeah.
Or they have to get like pixel perfect grenade throws to get it across the map and get like a one hit kill on somebody at the start of a round. Like, where do you come up with this shit? And you watch it, and you the funny thing is, like, you have these crowds watching them play these games, and they'll cheer, and you can hear it. Like, they're in soundproof booths, but you can hear the crowd cheering, like, these crazy things, and it's, like, reacting like an actual sport. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with fucking League of Legends and DOA and all that bullshit, or Dota, or whatever you want to fucking call it.
All the fighting games.
Yeah.
I was actually... It reminded me that, the video from 2013 at like the European Call of Duty Championships, where it was just like two teams of 13-year-olds yelling at each other and almost getting into fistfights over it. And you watch like these guys playing Counter-Strike, and they're, say what you want about them, they're all weird looking, but they're professionals, even if they're wearing stupid looking shirts all the time, and are clearly living in their parents' basement when not practicing Counter-Strike. But like, they're professional about it, and they like come out and they win money and they say good game to each other, and they have sponsorships. The Call of Duty thing that the Eurogamer guy recorded was one of the funniest goddamn things I'd ever seen in my life, because it is the exact fucking opposite. It is just like two teams of like ad hoc players, ad hoc teams playing each other in crappy maps, not having any fun, and just getting extremely angry at each other. And like, you wouldn't see that at a professional Counter-Strike event, but maybe at a competitive Call of Duty thing. But then again, I have to say, who the fuck plays Call of Duty competitively? No one. Right?
Yeah.
The phase and optic dickbags?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those guys are now better known for providing intros for the Reddit montage parodies subreddit.
Oh boy.
You gotta see those. Those things are sometimes really great, because it'll just be like this kid this overweight kid pretending to do parkour, and they'll just do the like 6-minute phase or whatever intro, and then the kid falls down, and then that's the end of the video. But it's stupid shit. I love it. But yeah, that's it. Maybe next week we will talk more about Hardline as I get further into it, and maybe unlock things that are not in that one class, because I have seriously played Mechanic for about 5 minutes, and all the rest of my time has seriously been an Enforcer.
big question: are you going to do a Let's Play of the single player?
I actually talked to Nebrios, the guy who did the Homefront LP. He's recording another game right now. I was actually I saw him on Skype and I was gonna invite him in here, but he wants to team up with me to do a single player LP of that game, because you can really do it two ways. You can do it loud and you can do it stealth. And it really opens up a lot of stuff to do it stealth, and he's like, I'm really enjoying stealth. If you want to go do loud, go do loud. So I'm thinking I might do that after I finish the one I just launched, like 5 minutes before we got here. So we'll have fun with that, and then I have to do, I'm contractually obligated as a Let's Play superstar to do certified. What's it? Strangelove always likes to say it, because I said it in one of the when we did the Battle Los Angeles video for the Homefront thread. I introduced myself as saying I'm certified Let's Play superstar Laserfire, and so Strangelove uses that on me all the time. I thought I was being funny, but yeah, that I'll see how that goes. I haven't touched the excuse me. I haven't touched the single player yet, so I'll be interested in seeing how it is. If it's like, I've heard it's actually pretty decent, and it's not really a complete drag like the Battlefield 4 single player could be. So I think I might give that a shot when Nebrios comes through and does his silent playthrough. I'll help out with some videos.
Nice.
Yeah. But hey, I had a good time with it so far. So thanks for joining me, guys. Any final words before we sign off here?
Final words.
I fucking hate you.
Roll
It feels
Tide.
so good. It feels so fucking good.
All that bacon you have in that crisper drawer.
God damn, dude.
Cock
so
bacon.
much bacon. So much fucking bacon.
Okay, well, roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Tide roll.